Welcome back to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. Today we are doing the letter V in the ABC Challenge. So we're doing Vines by Brynne. Yeah, I think it's Brynne Asher. This book is available on Kindle Unlimited. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, it is $6.99 for the Kindle version, 99 cents for the audiobook if you have a Audible account, or $20 for the paperback. The description is as follows. When your neighbor turns out to be an assassin and a stalker. In the Virginia countryside outside of Washington, D.C., Addie Wentworth was on a mission to make a new life for herself. When the opportunity arose, she settled in horse and wine country. Experiencing more than her fair share of tragedy and loss, she had plans for her future, one where failure wasn't an option. And not just because people and cows were counting on her. She poured everything she had into her struggling vineyard because once she's in, she's all in. After giving himself wholly to the job for 10 years, Crew Vega was done. He fulfilled his commitment, done his duty, gone above and beyond to settle the score. And the score was high. All he had to do was train his replacements and he'd be out for good. He had a plan, one that didn't include getting involved with his new neighbor, a woman who not only kept cows for pets, but treasured her employees as family, and understood him better than anyone ever had before. But when he learned a high-level CIA target being investigated for treason was keeping tabs on her, no, he never planned on that. And like everything Crew Vega did in life, when he goes in, he's all in. Warning, I'm a devout member of the Mama Club and don't want to get kicked out by angry mamas. If you aren't 18, turn around. Go drink your milk and eat your veggies. It's good for your bones. And go to bed early. You're still growing. Your body needs sleep. Don't text and drive. And be nice. Sit with a kid who sits alone at lunch. And read a PG-13 book. It's good for your brain. And go tell your mama you love her. Chop chop. Run along now. I'll see you back when you're eligible to vote. The content warnings are panic attacks/disorders, sexual content, grief, death, gun violence, miscarriage, vomit, and stalking. That's it. We're ready for the reviews.
Oh my god, the reviews.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so Storygraph's average rating is a 3.78. I've got two bad reviews because they're both really short and they don't have a lot of content.
Okay.
One is a 1-star that says, not awful, just got too bored to bother finishing it. So it's a DNF. And the other one's also a DNF, but they rated it a 2. I just couldn't get into this audiobook. The male main character seemed too much of a butthole for me to have finished this story. The narrators were great, though. And then the 5-star says, OMG, this book was amazing. Addie owns a vineyard, and actually, no, let me skip that part, because that's pretty much just saying everything that you just said. But oh my god, this book was amazing. This book has it all. Strong alpha male hero, danger, heated chemistry, and a woman who needs saving. There's danger lurking around every corner and some nail-biting moments. The chemistry between Crew and Addie is crazy hot. She will not even know what hit her when Crew decides she is his. Again, swoon. Alpha male. I loved Crew and his possessive qualities. He is protective, strong, a hired killer, an amazing lover. When he puts the moves on Addie, it's like a semi-truck plowed over her and took over. The series is going to be hot and I can't wait to read more. Goodreads, the average rating is a 4.17. The 1-star I picked says, I felt nothing. Drag read for almost 5 days because I can't get myself to like anything in this book. And then the 5-star says, yes, I read this twice in as many months. And do you know why? Because it was so good. Do you all remember how much I loved Ethica Lane? This one's better. From the first page to the last, I love this book. The cows, Addie, Crew, where do I even start? He is definitely BBF material. Ladies, you will not want to miss meeting Crew Vega. This book had the perfect amount of everything. Romance, suspense, action, horror. Not horror, humor.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so excited about the next book in the series. Grady's story, I need to know his backstory and see him get an HEA. And then on Amazon, the average rating is a 4.4. And the 1-star I picked actually isn't a 1-star, it's 2-star because there wasn't anything lower than 2 stars. Says, we started off strong. I liked the story. The cows were an interesting touch. It even had touches of humor, and I was excited for Crew and Addie. Then we insta-loved, and not in a cute way, enter in the cheese and tons of it. Then the repeating expressions, in quotes, for some reason. I just couldn't, so I quit. This one isn't for me, with 2 shrugging emojis. 5-star pick says, Vines has an unusual plot/storyline. It has suspense, great characters, love, humor, and romance. Love the cows. I would definitely recommend, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. And
there's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
Owning a winery sounds like it'd be fun.
It does honestly sound really fun. I've never been to a winery, but like my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law have been to like, I'm pretty sure my sister-in-law went. Anyways, have went to like wine tastings and stuff, and they're like, oh, it's beautiful. It's on a vineyard. And like our town actually does have this wine place that I saw on the other side, and I've never been, and I haven't really heard much about it, but they do like wine margaritas and stuff like that. And it's like, me and you need to go do that one day. I think occasionally they have testing.
I've been to a vineyard.
Really?
Or a winery. I've been to a couple actually.
Girl.
We did that for I went on a surprise trip with my man's, and he surprised me with a winery out in Lynchburg.
Aw.
And so I pretty much stood there tasting the wine because he wouldn't drink because he's DD. So he took me there just so I can get drunk.
What a man.
Yeah. No, but seriously, like he thought it'd be nice, and we bought a bottle, and it was the best wine I've ever had. I'm not gonna lie. I've been to another one. Huh?
You said this one was in Lynchburg?
This one was in Lynchburg, yes.
Okay.
Then I've been to like one up in New Jersey when I was visiting my friend, and that was fun too. We got a bottle of wine that we shared, and I got very drunk.
Oh my gosh.
Because we split like we drank a whole bottle together.
Dang.
Yeah. And so we sat there, like we did the tasting. Because pretty much what a tasting is, they give you a sheet of paper and they're like, all right, pick like however many wines to try. Depending on which one you go to, like you can try 5 or you could try up to 10. Like it just depends on the winery. I think this one let me pick like 10. So they give you like a little schluck
Oh my goodness.
wine of each type that you taste, and then they'll start talking about it and be like, and this is what it tastes like, and blah, 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 blah. And then you sip it, and then they give you the next one. But yeah, after that, we bought a bottle, and we sat and we drank the whole thing.
Oh my goodness, that sounds so fun.
And then I went to another one. It wasn't a wine tasting, but it was like a class on how to make sangria. And so we made sangria. So that was fun. But I feel like it'd be fun to own one, because I think events like that would be fun.
Yeah, man. Especially if you had cows that come with it. Heck yeah, I love cows.
Cows are okay.
Yeehaw.
I guess. I don't know.
Dude, my great uncle, we used to go to his house like multiple times a week, and his neighbor behind him had a cow, and it was like they got it as a baby and like raised it up like a pet. They didn't slaughter it or milk it or anything. It was just a pet. And I would go over there and I would pet it and feed it, and like it was the sweetest thing ever. They're so sweet. My first note is he has a dimple. I'm now willing to commit treason for this man.
Oh. I have dimples. Are you willing to commit treason?
Always, baby girl. You just tell me when and how. No, man, people like my son has a dimple, and it's like he gets away with murder, honestly, because like he just smiles at me, and I'm like, ah.
I don't remember who Van is. I don't know if you wrote down who Van was.
I think that was Crew's friend, wasn't it? Like the one that was helping him.
I think so, but anyways, he was described as, what's a great way to say man whore without saying man whore?
I think man whore is okay to say.
Okay.
That's not really an ugly word.
Okay, so he was described as a man whore, and kind of reminded me of Sloane from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think that's kind of who I was picturing for him, because I just imagined this really pretty guy that got it whatever he wanted, you know?
Yeah, but like for some reason, because like they only talked about him at that point, and then after that, I don't think they ever mentioned who he was ever again.
Yeah.
Or maybe they used a different name for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, the character Clara.
Yeah.
She reminds me of you.
Honestly, my next note is her employee Clara saying she's tired of being a stay-home mom and is begging for literally just 20 hours a week. That's completely me, because I actually did that. Like, I literally got a job and I was like, please give me all the hours you can. I'm tired of being home.
Yeah. I was like, that is so you.
Yeah.
What kind of name is Tobin?
It reminded me of Toboggan. Like, every time I read it, I was like, Toboggan. No, Tobin. Because I thought it was Toboggan every single time I read it.
Yeah, no, I saw that and I was just like, oh. I mean, I guess she really wanted us to really dislike this character by giving him such an awful name.
Mm-hmm. My next note is actually a quote.
Oh.
And it says, I'm sure this particular shade of turquoise hasn't been put on a vehicle for decades, and for good reason. And after the quote, I wrote seafoam green.
Yeah.
Because that's the color of your boyfriend's vehicle. Yeah. We make fun of that thing all the time.
I mean, his vehicle's like 25 years old.
Really? And it's still running?
Yep. Takes good care of it.
Yeah, that's true. See, honestly, my car, I hit my mic. My car is not a bad car, but she ugly. So that's why I'm wanting to trade her in.
She could be pretty, you know?
Yeah,
if she didn't have all the damage.
Several $1,000s worth of body work. I mean, it's not really like, I've only gotten to one minor accident when I backed into my brother and ripped the front half of my car off. And then so like that, my car is 2 different shades, but before that it's like just a ton of hail damage because I live in the South. We live in Tornado Alley. And so we get hail a lot. And plus I think someone backed into it because there's a dent that I don't think was there. And I don't know when it happened because I never go around the front of my car. So I think someone did back into my car and didn't say anything. But yeah, she got ugly.
Mine's would be on the verge of getting ugly with how many accidents I've got.
I know.
But I've had my car fixed like 3 times.
I know.
In the last 3 years, I think.
Yeah. When I get my new car later this year, I'm going to definitely do whatever I can to get full coverage insurance.
Yeah,
Because
that's nice.
I don't want to have another car as ugly as my current vehicle.
I would not recommend silver.
No, apparently not, because nobody can see it.
Apparently, because I've been hit like 3 times.
Yeah. The only times I have ever almost hit a vehicle was because they were silver. Like, I for some reason, my mind doesn't register. That's a vehicle.
Yeah, I've considered getting a paint job or something on my car, but that's like $3,000 to $5,000.
Thousands,
So I'm
yes.
like, I really don't have that kind of money. I
Man.
mean, I have savings, but I'm like, I don't really want to dip in my savings just for that.
For something like that, yeah. He brought her cow back, and they say romance is dead.
So sweet. Hold her up in the truck and everything.
Yeah.
And her name was Harry.
Yeah, I know Harry the cow.
So Addie goes, I got invited to the White House. And then Crew goes, me too. Also Crew, a little bit later,
Get me on the list.
Yeah, literally. And he's like, oh, it's so great. We're both going to be there. Do everything you can to get me invited to this party.
and then he gets invited.
And then he gets to go, and then they attend, and he protect.
He protect.
And
he snack.
Well, he's a whole snack.
Apparently.
I mean, wolf, you know? I don't use wolf very, very much, but wolf. Yeah, my next note is, why couldn't I have bought a vineyard next to a hot secretive man?
Yeah.
Probably because I'm broke. If only.
Yeah, he said, I have cameras looking at your house, which is, kind of creepy,
That was
but
very creepy, yeah.
kind of sweet
Yeah.
at the same time. And then, so, like, when I first started writing, like, my notes, my man's, like, asking, like, what our books are about and stuff, so I was just like, let me just send you my notes. And this is a note that he made fun of me for, just because of what I wrote. I want to pinch him next time I see him, because he keeps making fun of me for it. I wrote, in quotes, yeah, I have cameras, but if you think I'm going to leave you alone after you cried in my arms, I'm like, that's so sweet. So I wrote, swoon, because
Aww.
that's so sweet, and now he won't stop making fun of me because I said swoon.
You said it out loud?
No, I wrote that as my note, and I shared my notes with him.
Oh, well, at least you didn't say that. At least he didn't do anything romantic, and then you were like, swoon, because I think that's worse.
No.
Man, I love it whenever she was like having poker night with all her coworkers / friends, or employees / friends. And then he came and, well, he went to poker. And then he like played poorly so she would win so he could pay her back for fixing their shared fence line.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was, though, but it was during like poker night when one of them was eating like chips and pasta together.
Was it the pregnant lady?
I don't think so. It was a man. I'm
Claire.
pretty sure.
Oh.
I remember her saying, and he's eating like chips and pasta, and that's disgusting. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that is pretty gross.
ma'am, no?
Really?
Potato chips and pasta?
Together?
Yeah.
At the same time?
You don't think that would be good? I think it could be good.
I have to eat weird pasta because I'm allergic to wheat, so maybe it's just I'm imagining like my chickpea pasta that tastes low-key like peanuts. But I don't know. To me, that just seems like it'll be a little bit. I've tried a spaghetti taco one time.
Yeah.
Did not hit.
Me too. It was okay.
It was very mid. It was not good. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
What's funny is this has come from the woman who ate pickles with vanilla icing.
I don't want to talk about it. Or the time I crushed up Doritos and put chocolate syrup all over it and ate it with a spoon.
But potato chips and pasta is a no-go, apparently.
Yeah, that's where I draw the line. Potato chips and pasta and ravioli. That's where I draw the line.
Speaking of bad food, though, she's obsessed with like Laffy Taffy.
Yeah. Who likes Laffy Taffy?
Laffy Taffy's okay. It's not fantastic.
It's too sticky.
But she was talking about the green apple flavors being her favorite, and I'm like, green apple isn't the worst flavor, actually.
Yeah, literally. If I was going to pick a Laffy Taffy to eat, it would not be a green apple one.
No.
I don't like them, but Crew Vega could probably change my mind.
Yeah. What if he had like had one between his teeth and he was just like, come get it from me?
Yeah, literally. Okay, I love Laffy Taffy. How did you know?
Yeah. I wrote this note because I wanted to make sure I remembered, depending on how long it was going to take for us to do this episode.
A while.
So her dad was killed because he was accused of doing something he didn't do. And Mom said, let's have an identity change. And then, they changed their names. And she goes from being Abby to Addie.
I know. That's wow. So no one's gonna know.
Yeah, that's such a big change.
That's such a huge change. How is anyone ever gonna guess that that's her?
Yeah. And now people with guns are after her.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Which is why she was crying in his arms, because she was so scared, because they left and then people said pew pew and started hitting his car.
Pew, pew,
And she was upset because it was a very nice car that they
I
put bullet
remember
holes
thinking
in.
like, oh no, the car. Okay, but before that, he put her shoe on for her.
That is
I
very
tr-
sweet.
I tried to explain that to my husband the other day. I'm like, because he got from work. I'm like, oh, you mean you take your shoes off for you? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, I read about it in books all the time. It's supposed to be like really sweet. And then he was like, you can put your own shoes on. I'm like, yeah, no, I know that. I'm aware. I'm 24. I hope by now I can put my shoes on. But you should do it for me. Because I'm like, he put her heel on for her. Deceased, gone. Because when I read about that in book, especially if it's like high heels, I don't know what it is about a man putting high heels on a woman. But I'm just like, whoa.
Especially one with like the ankle clasp thing.
Yes. Oh,
I'm pretty sure my man's done that for me.
man.
There was one time where he wanted to, but he couldn't figure it out because it was weird sandals.
Oh my gosh. What's next note, ma'am?
So smut's pretty good.
Oh, that's smut be smutting.
But there's one scene, so they like, they did the thing. And then it was like the next morning, he spent the night and he woke up and he started talking about how they were getting it on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it cuts the details off and he's talking about how she's coming. And I'm like, you just took away like the most crucial part of
Literally.
the whole book.
Oh my
which
gosh.
is you describing how you made her come.
I know.
So
It
that
wasn't-
bothered me.
It wasn't really closed door. I think it was more like under the blanket, maybe the same. Like you can't really see anything, but you know it's happening.
There were some scenes where it was pretty descriptive, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
But like that scene, like
That
it just
one.
literally jumped, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Oh, I was also gonna say because we were talking about how he put her shoe on for her, and like just his personality really reminded me of my man. So I was just like, that's so sweet. Like, the only difference is Crew's a mercenary, and my man's not.
that you know of.
Not that I know of.
But if he turns out to be mercenary, will you tell me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like he was a mercenary, and like she thought, oh, he's an assassin. Turns out he's CIA, which is exactly the kind of person she's been running from her whole life. Well, most of her life since her dad died. Like he did background checks on her and stuff like that, and so he's like, dude, I know why. You've always been running. Your dad's been killed. And then she was like, oh my gosh, he knows, and he still loves me. She wasn't like, how do you know that? That was.
She did question it.
I think she did a little bit at least, but like to me, I feel like if I had been spending my entire life running from something and then someone was like, yeah, I know all about it, I would be a little bit more. I mean, she did try to run away from him.
She did.
Maybe, okay, whatever.
Not in quotes, ran away.
Yeah, she ran away. My next note is they did the diddly, and again, and again, and again.
Yep.
And you get it.
Yep.
Because, man, it was like once they started, oof.
Yeah. So how come it's like in every romance book ever?
Yeah.
Or at least the ones I've read. Why is it always, it's okay, I'm on the pill, we don't need a condom anymore?
I know.
Like, always. Like, I want something where, like, they have to wear a condom.
See, a lot of people are like, condoms are not sexy. And,
I think they can be, because it's called practicing safe sex.
well, yeah, that first off, yes. Second off, like, in my mind, it builds anticipation.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a mood dampener or a killer or something like that. I mean, sure, like, it doesn't feel as good as it would be, like, raw dogging it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you want to be safe.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, birth control can fail. So,
Yeah. Yeah, which I wrote after that, we appreciate a man who practices safe sex.
yeah. He trains killers.
Mm-hmm.
Surely he's not worried about his wank. But
Yeah. And then, continuing with that, right? So, like, he decided he wanted to experience, like, some backdoor play with her, right?
Mm.
And so,
that was the last scene, wasn't it?
somewhere closer to the end, I think. Yeah. Not the last scene, but it was somewhere towards, like,
Yeah.
somewhere between 50% into the book to the end.
Yeah, I think it was, like, the last, like, intimate scene is what I meant.
So there's a couple notes I have on that.
I do, too.
Well, one of them, how come girls in books who try it for the first time always end up, like, liking it?
I know.
Like, why don't we have a book
I
where the girl
know.
tries it and she's just like, this isn't for me. I don't like this.
I know. I mean, honestly, like, I'm TMI. I'm not that person. I don't like that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even like reading about it to the point if it's really really describing like backdoor stuff. I'm like, okay,
Skip.
I'm gonna skip. Yeah, because I'm gonna skim through this until it stops because I don't like thinking about it. Don't like doing it. Never like trying it. I'm good.
he was talking about how she called it his pinky, and he's like, it's not manly to call a pinky a pinky. And I'm like, is it really? Because it doesn't seem like...
I mean, it's a pinky.
It's a pinky. It's the pinky finger.
Yeah. What else you gonna call it? My tiniest digit? I mean,
yeah, like...
it's pinky.
It's the pinky. What, there's no other...
There's no word. You don't need a word for that. My note about that was that last sex scene is detailed. I was listening with Alexa, and I swear it lasted over 30 minutes. I was making a grilled cheese and soup, so however long that was. Because I don't know if I had it on the Alexa or if I was using my earbuds, but like my husband wasn't home. And like my kids were playing, so I'm like, I'm just gonna listen and then make some grilled cheese and soup. And I remember standing there stirring my tomato soup with my jaw just down. My mouth was open because I was like, what in the world? And it was, Alexa, she's like, it lasted over 30 minutes reading it. So I don't know how many pages on the Kindle it was, but like I made 2 grilled cheese sandwiches and heated up my tomato soup, plated it, and sat down before it ended.
Oh yeah, so Crew leaves, right, to go on this little quest. Mm-hmm. And then after he leaves, suddenly a bunch of anonymous tips kept being sent to, like, Addie's winery. Like, she had the ABC go to her house, the health department, and then the IRS showed up, and it was just, like, all these things, and Addie, it's just like, oh, I thought for a second maybe, like, Crew was behind it, and, like, he left, and maybe he's the reason why. Mm-hmm. Or, like, he's not there and just gonna protect her or something, I don't know.
It said there was a shootout at the vineyard and Crew saved Addie again.
Yeah, I wrote the standoff in the vineyard kind of reminded me of Things We Hide from the Light. Remember when they're in the stable?
Yeah.
It kind of gave off the same vibes. It's not the same exact thing, but like it was the same vibes.
I remember they were running like in the vineyard and like jumping between the vines and stuff like that. And then the guy was threatening to shoot her, and then Vega's there and shot him. And she was kind of like upset, but like not really, because he was trying to kill her,
Which kind of got confusing because there was a lot of people in that standoff. Mm-hmm. And I kept getting confused as to who we were talking about and stuff like that, because you had like Mark, and then you had... No, Tobin wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't think... And wasn't there the guy with the fancy shoes there? I forgot what his name was. But...
It was either Mark or it was, what did I write his name down as? I think I was trying to remember his last name, but I can't remember his last name, because that's what they referred to him as.
Yeah.
It started with a W, I
Whitworth.
think. No. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So, the guy and Mark... Huh?
Wally.
No. We're not going to play that game because we're going to be sitting here forever. The two of them were working together to go and bring her down, and then... She's, like, trying to, like, get out of it. And then, what's his face? Crew.
Yeah.
And the other guy's actually the one that shot him.
Yeah.
And then, then that was the end of that.
That was the end of that.
Right before that, though, Crew pays off her business loan and her car. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, don't worry, it was just pocket change. Meanwhile, like, this business loan she had was $2.5 million.
I know! But I guess since he, like, didn't really have anything to spend money on, and he was, like, a highly sought-after, quote-unquote, mercenary?
Yeah.
Legal assassin, you know? I guess he had all that money just sitting there. My last note is about the epilogue.
Same.
They had 2 miscarriages, which is super sad, and then they are heavily pregnant with their daughter. Yep. Like, waiting for arrival. And the way he's like, oh, like, these are my girls, like, that's so sweet. Yeah. My girls.
Yeah, it was so sweet. And he was, like, so, like, and not just in love, but very careful, because he was just like, oh, I don't want her to be upset, because I want to be extra careful with her, because she already had 2 miscarriages.
Yeah.
And, want to make sure everything works out fine. And then
that's so sweet.
Do you remember what they named the child?
Oh, I don't. What was it?
Vive.
I'm sorry, what?
Vive.
Vive?
Vivre. It's French. So I knew you wouldn't be able to figure it out.
I completely read that as like Viver or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's Vive.
That makes a lot more sense. What does it mean?
It's Vive.
Vive.
Because it's French.
That's it?
I don't remember. I literally just finished this the other day, and I don't even remember. But I remember,
I don't remember the meaning.
They were talking about it, and they were just like, because she's going to hate us because of what we named her. And I'm like, okay, well then give her a different name.
Yeah.
If she's going to hate it.
See, I feel like my kids are not going to like me because their names are kind of long. I mean, they have a long first name, a short middle name, and a long last name.
Their names are not
crazy
exotic.
I know. I mean, they're old-fashioned. It's like what people were named in the 80s. I don't know.
And it's not going to be hard for people to pronounce them.
Yeah.
But Vive?
Yeah, Vive. It's got an R in it.
Vive.
A whole R. Like, where?
Yeah. So, I made sure to write that down, too, because I didn't know if you were going to remember it.
Yeah, no, I did not remember that. But, yeah, that's a crazy name. Okay, what's your buzz comment?
I said it was good, like pretty much a solid romance for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't fully focus on it though. Like I kept kind of like it was good. It was solid. I enjoyed it, but just for some reason my mind kept wandering when I was reading it and while I was listening to it for the most part. But I don't know. There's something about it. The smut was really good, and I said the Kindle cover is really pretty because on Storygraph the cover of the book is a picture of a shirtless man.
Really? Because one I pulled up on Amazon is a key.
Yeah, no. On Storygraph it's a shirtless man.
Oh my gosh.
But on Goodreads and I'm sure on Amazon too, it's like a brown, black, looks like leather or like very close up of skin with a key, and it says Vines. I think that cover is so much prettier than the one with the man.
I love that one, yeah.
So I wrote that as one of my
Men are
comments.
ugly. Why would you use them for a cover photo?
Right?
Honestly.
You know?
Just ruins the whole vibe.
Yeah.
My buzzwords are enemies to lovers, neighbors, and touch her and die. And then I rated it a 5 out of 5.
I rated it a 4 out of 5.
Oh my goodness. I love this one. I actually want to go back. This one is the first book out of a series.
Yep.
There's 7 of them. It's called The
There's
Killers.
7.
Yeah. There's Vines, Paths,
Yeah.
Gifts, Veils. All these covers are so pretty though. The last one is called the Tequila.
It's called what?
The Tequila.
Oh, yeah, because it's a little novella of Mary and
Yeah.
whatever that other guy's name is. I think Evan.
Yeah.
Whoever the two of them that were her employees that were going out together.
Oh yeah, because he was like, oh man.
Because like she shows up to her house and she's just like, girl, I'm so nervous. And then she drinks like a whole bottle of tequila before they go out on their date.
It's like the whole time they were just like, or he was like, man, I like her so much. And she was like, you. And then they finally went out. And then she was like, oh, I'm so nervous. And he was just excited, you know. But yeah, that's all she wrote.
That is all she wrote.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bibliophiles Audiophiles. If you would like to contact us, we have an email at biblioaudiopod@gmail.com.
Yep.
So if you are an author or you just really like to read words, you know, you can tell us the book name and we would probably also really like to read words.
Yeah.
But we are looking for authors who would like to have an interview on the podcast. We go over your book and ask some questions and give you like a platform to talk about your book or, you know, book events that you're going to in the future to see if any of our listeners would be interested. So if you would like to do that, we have a form that you can fill out on our website, on our Instagram, or you can just email us.
Which you already didn't know. Our Instagram is at biblioaudiopod and podcast. Biblioaudio podcast. And our website is biblioaudiopod.com. And there's other things on there. So if you haven't, you know, checked out all of our episodes yet and you want to see what kind of stuff we've already released. Yeah, so our little blog page is called Episodes. So everything that we have written, it's not up to date yet, so we still got to catch up on that.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time we release this episode, we are caught up. But at this current moment, we are not. You can see like all the different things we have. So we have like different tabs. So if there's any types of genres you're more or less interested in, you can go there. See what kind of stuff we've done for those particular genres. We got author interviews, so we got posts dedicated to them and who they are and all of that jazz. So you can check that out. There's a shop on there which we got up to date of different like things that we do or have for sale, which is stuff that we also have for sale at Bookfest. Because speaking of Bookfest, we are going to be attending the Foothills Bookfest,
which was originally Summerton, but they've renamed.
Yep.
I'm trying to find the date.
October 11th.
Yeah, October 11th. It'll be indoor in Jasper.
Yep.
I don't know where.
Jasper Civic Center, I think it
I
is.
think so. We'll put that on the website later.
Yeah. We'll put it somewhere. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. We already signed up and paid for our booth, so we're really excited about that because this is our third time going to that particular fest with these people, and we love the people who own it, and we enjoy seeing all the people that come for the booth. So if you're interested, that'll be in October.
Come for some authors,
yeah,
they'll be there.
There's a lot of fun things you can check out there. Like when we were doing not author interviews, but like little talking to like people, all the authors. There were so many books. Like watching back at the video of everything that we filmed, the people that like I want to check out because they sound. Their personality alone makes me want to like check out their books.
I know some of them are kind of out there, but the rest of them are like very sweet.
Yes.
You know.
So yeah, I think we've rambled on enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us for this episode. You'll hear us in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.